This is an overview and a brief description on the quest Closing the Eye. Now, for this quest we need to slay Archmage Xylem. To do this, you first need to have the Mage Tower enabled on the Broken Shore, which basically means when you hover over this, obviously the Mage Tower for us is there. It's only there for another 19 minutes, unfortunately, and then it will disappear. And then you simply go to the mage outside of the Mage Tower and you can gain access to this. Now you can do it free, I believe, once a day. After that it costs 100 nether shard. Is it just nether shards? Yes, just 100 nether shards to do it. Trust me, it'll probably take you more than one attempt. I believe someone has managed to do this with item level 896, and that is the lowest I'm aware of. I'm not 100% sure on the class. I think it was a demon hunter, so I probably a little bit out of luck seeing that I am 895, so I'm one behind. If I do it, fantastic. I'll be almost like a world first for the lowest item level, as so I'm aware. Now you'll basically run into this encounter in one of 5 classes: a Frost Death Knight, a Havoc Demon Hunter, Survival Hunter, Subtlety Rogue, and an Arms Warrior. This encounter has essentially 2 phases. The first phase is where you actually fight Xylem, and the second phase is the Corrupting Shadow. I'll go a bit more into the Corrupting Shadow after I've given Xylem's breakdown. Now there's 2 core phases. There's the Frost phase and the Arcane/Shadow phase. In the Frost phase, he'll periodically cast Frostbolt, and then I'm not sure what exact timer is on this. I don't know if it's actually based off health or based off an explicit time, but he'll cast what's known as Razor Ice and Comet Shadow together. Right, first things he'll cast with Razor Ice, which will surround you in ice. Now if you try and run through this, it will pretty much one-shot you. It does about 2-3 million damage per tick, and there is a lot of these shards. You have 2 options. One is to simply burn it down. If you lack the DPS to do it, to be honest, you probably don't have enough DPS to do this encounter already, and you should probably leave. 2 is you can actually avoid it. Now I know for a Demon Hunter I've tried this and it does work. Simply double jump and then Fell Rush. I believe with an Arms Warrior you can also Heroic Leap. I have not tested this theory, so if you want to leave a comment in the comments below whether you can or not, feel free. And obviously basically after a period of time, this the combination of Razor Ice with Comet Storm landing on you will essentially kill you. Now between the phases he will cast what is known as Arcane Annihilation, where the room will fill full of mirror images. Now it's key to note the dot in the top right hand corner, because that is his location. You need to get on that as close as possible to kill that mirror image. Like I said, you are against the timer with this, with Arcane Annihilation. Also in this phase you will potentially be taking 1 million damage a second. Yes, I know, it's insane. So you'll be taking a massive amount of damage, so that's when you really want to save your cooldowns. Like for me it would be Blur and Darkness. In the Arcane/Shadow phase, instead of Frostbolt he will be periodically casting Arcane Barrage, and also do the Shadow Barrage. Now Arcane Barrage is what he'll be casting as his primary attack. Shadow Barrage is essentially what he will cast in sort of like waves. Now you'll see like waves of orbs coming at you. It's best to try and strafe out of those rather than just moving all the way out of the way, because obviously you're dropping your DPS, and this is almost a pure DPS race. The final thing you'll do is draw power. Now basically what he'll do is focus the iris in the center of the room, and he will gain stacks of draw power. Basically this will just increase his overall damage, if I'm correct, by 5% each time. And that's essentially phase 1. Now phase 2, he will turn in, I'm not sure if he turns into it or a Corrupting Shadow appears. Either way, you basically see this massive void creature, and he will constantly drop this debuff on the floor. You need to kite him around very slowly while he does this, and then from time to time he will also, I think it's Seed of Darkness, which will summon 3 adds. Now you have to burn these down literally as fast as possible, stun them, whatever, because they will attempt to heal the Corrupting Shadow. So That's the key to that. With that being said, that is pretty much this fight in a nutshell. I'm going to give it an attempt just to show you what it's like. I'm more than likely going to fail. Here's my key tip: flask, food, and for me, I like using prolonged power. You don't have to. Remember, going into the fight, use one before obviously you engage him. Then use one when you really need to in the combat as well. Don't use your cooldowns on the first bit. You basically burn your way through the first set of Razor Ice, then blow your cooldowns. That's just my personal opinion. Now, a lot of people will probably say, oh no, you want to use your cooldowns straight out into the fight, so you can obviously get them off cooldown slightly faster, but it's kind of subjective to what you feel more comfortable with. Now, I'm going to give this an attempt. I'm probably going to die very quickly. I'm not that well geared, and I'm not very good at this, so I just wanted to explain the fight and show you the basic semantics of this. Well, let's get started. Now, if you do interrupt his Frostball and the Frost Barrage at the same time, here we go. Here's what we need to kill as fast as possible. You can just simply make yourself a little hole like that. If you are taking too much damage, you can stun him and interrupt him, which I always found did help. I did have to get out of that because I was gonna die. I screwed this up already. Right, but you've seen the basic summation of this fight. It is kind of different. I made the mistake that I probably should have stayed in the Razor Ice, and I didn't manage my rotation that well in regards to my Blade Dance. I should have stayed in there, had the Blade Dance off cooldown, potentially saved a cooldown for that period. But either way, this is a very difficult fight, and I hope what I've provided is enough information so you can do it, especially if you're geared to do it. I'd say the average item level that you should be able to do this on is about 910. I know you're probably thinking that's a joke, but unfortunately, this is what you have. Now, I hope like I said, I hope you found this information useful, and I'm going to catch you next time when hopefully I might actually have a successful kill on this. If I do, check out the top right hand corner for a little eye. If there is no eye, unfortunately I still haven't done it. And I will see you next time.